Hey, what's up guys? My name is Ariel and today we're going to be doing a review video for a cordless airbrush system by Quevina. So it is a sponsored video. They sent me one of their samples for us to use, so we have it right here. We're going to do an unboxing so I can show you guys what comes with the set. We're also going to be doing a demo and usage with some paints and some spoons. And we're going to do an airbrush breakdown. So basically we're going to take this airbrush apart so I can show you guys what it's made out of. And then I'm going to give you guys my final thoughts and recommendations. So if you're ready, why don't we go ahead and see what's inside. The box is fairly basic, just solid black box, no other labeling or images. Now taking a look at the instructions first. They are fairly straightforward and I will get into all of these in further detail later on in the video. The airbrush itself has a nozzle of 0.4 millimeters, has a battery life of about 50 minutes, so that's under an hour, and it has a charge time of 1.5 hours. The other side of the pamphlet is the same info but in Japanese and text. The charging cord is the only item here that I feel that it's like loose in the box. I have a feeling that this was meant for a bigger adapter, but it's now changed to just a cord. It is a USB-C, however, so that is a plus, I guess. The portable motor is pretty solid. It has some weight to it, but it's not heavy. It's metal body in build, and it feels very sturdy. So I think this is going to be a solid motor. So the cool thing about this system, it comes with 3 interchangeable container cups for your paints. One is a 40 milliliter, one 20 milliliter, and one 5 milliliter. The 2 bigger ones are made out of plastic, while the smallest one is made out of metal. All of them have a container lid, and each of the lid has a poke-through air vent for circulation. Last is the airbrush itself. It came with a security cover for the nozzle, which is good to protect it. Here is where the connection, where the cup will be secured to, and the bottom is the connection of the airbrush to connect to the portable compressor. The trigger is well made and has a good spring to set it back in place. The back of the airbrush has a control dial to set your airbrush output. To connect any of the cups to the airbrush is fairly easy. You just screw the connection port into the hole here, like so. To connect the motor to the airbrush, again, very straightforward. Just align the ports and screw the 2 pieces together. To turn the motor on, again, pretty simple. You just press the button right here. And to turn the motor off, all you have to do is just press the button again. Okay, to test the portable airbrush, I will be using the Vallejo primer in gray. A couple of spoons. These are just plastic spoons. And these paints from Robot Kai. First, we will spray the spoons with some primer. Then we will use the Hobby Mio Mecha Orange and Medium Gray as our paints. We will use the Mecha Orange first, and the metal container cup on the airbrush. Okay, let's turn it on and give it a go. The spray seems very steady, and the PSI feels like it's around the 20-25 mark. It has a good coverage so far, and it handles pretty well. I love the consistency of the air on this one, and the vibration from the motor doesn't really hinder me from spraying like an even spray on it. So it's just a matter of like putting some coats on top, a couple of light layers at first, but overall good coverage. Next, let's switch up the container cup. First, we will remove the metal container. Then we will secure the plastic one in place. Let's pour some of these medium gray into the cup and then cover the lid. All right, let's go spray some stuff. Again, it's a solid coverage and consistency. I did not notice any irregularities with it. It's pretty much the same as it would have been for the metal container. I think there's some dust on the spoon, but overall the coverage is pretty solid and consistent, so it's actually pretty good. Here are the spoons and the surface finish on them, which is actually outstanding. To recharge the battery of your portable compressor, you will need your own AC adapter to connect to the motor to some power. Once you plug the cord to the USB-C port, there will be a light indicator that it is charging. To remove the airbrush from the portable compressor, it is fairly simple. Just screw counterclockwise until the two pieces separate. Here's a quick comparison between a couple of gravity feed airbrushes. First is the MadWorks airbrush, and here is a Pash Talon. The MadWorks airbrush and the Quevina airbrush are the ones that look almost identical in both shape and feel. Here, compared to the Talon, there's more difference in looks. The Pash is longer because of the larger dial and cup size on the Talon, as well as the longer front nozzle. The funny thing about these is that they all have different connection ports for the air. That being said, the other two will not work with the Quevina port for the motor, and only the original one that comes with the kit can connect to it. So for maintenance, I typically use the Mr. Tool cleaner for my metal airbrushes, but for this one here, especially if you're using the plastic cups, avoid using this cleaner as it will melt the plastic. Instead, use other airbrush cleaners, Windex, or even a leveling thinner, which I will be using for this. I'm going to take the lid off and pour some solution in. Shake it mildly to catch all the areas, and then I'm going to use some paper towel to remove some of the excess paint in the container. And also cotton swab to get rid of all the tiny ones that have stuck. And then I would spray out the paints in the airbrush with the remaining I guess elements inside the airbrush onto some paper towel. Once that is done, I add some more solution and do another run to get more of the excess paint out. And then clean the holes and nozzle with the cotton swab. The overall build of this airbrush is actually pretty solid, and I like the materials. But let's see what's inside the airbrush and what it's made out of. First, we will take the container cup off. Then let's remove the back cover out. Let's release the needle. Removing the spring system. Removing the trigger, note that there's a plastic element to that trigger. Remove the paint guard. Remove the nozzle guard. And then the inner cone. The last piece is the main body here, and it should be stripped down by now. Some final thoughts about this review. If you are someone who is curious about getting into airbrushing your projects, or don't have the resources for a full stationary airbrush and compressor setup, then this portable airbrush system is something I could recommend to you. I myself airbrush a lot of model kits, and this actually surprised me in regards to its functions and its ease of use. So there are more pros than cons, so let me explain. What I think could be cons for this is that the motor, or rather the battery, can heat up over time. Nothing too hot, but I felt it getting warm and warmer over time during my constant use. Note that there's no PSI pressure gauge, so the airflow on this one will be consistent in that 20 or 25 PSI mark, so you cannot like adjust that to a higher or lower setting. Also, there's no moisture trap on this one. Both would have been good as an add-on to it, but I mean, from the function so far, it didn't hinder its performance, but maybe something they could consider in the future. Also, there is no AC adapter that came with the set. I think that could have been easily added on to it, but again, you have to provide your own AC adapter to charge the battery. The use time on this one could have been longer, I think. 50 minutes of use time is okay, but the charge time of 1.5 hours, that one kind of surprised me. So if you are someone who is in a crunch and this is your only means of airbrushing your project, just be mindful of the charge time versus use time. Now, what do I like about this set? So far, everything about it overall as a set is pretty good. It is a solid build airbrush, the motor and the battery seem stable, and the output for the air is very consistent. I really like the set in general. The low hum of the compressor is nice in contrast to the full-size compressor that I have and I typically use, which sometimes can affect other people around me, especially my neighbors. I can see myself using this portable compressor set any time of the day without disturbing others, so to me that is a add value. I really like the interchangeable containers as well. That will help with the paint usage if I am spraying a larger set of pieces or many objects at the same time with the same color. I think the cups are actually a really good add-on to it. I like that it doesn't take up a lot of space for storage, and if you don't have a lot of space for your hobby or your room, this is perfect for you. It's just ease of storage, collapsible, and it fits in almost any drawers or small spaces. Like I said, overall, I think the set is really good. The ease of use is the highlight of this product. I think that anyone of any level of experience can enjoy and use this product fairly well for their projects. So for me, I give it a solid 9 out of 10. There were some stuff there that could have been improved on, and I wish they will do that in the next iteration, but this set as it is actually pretty good, and I recommend it to everyone who might be interested in getting into airbrush or was curious about picking up a portable airbrush system. Alright, that is it for the review video. Hopefully you guys found that informative, and if you're considering picking one of these guys up for yourselves, the links to their website will be in the description, as well as a discount code which should still be active. And let me know what you guys think when you do pick one up for yourself. Also, if you have any questions or comments regarding this review, please feel free to put that in the comments section of the video. I'd be interested to hear what you guys think. And yeah, if this is your first time in my channel, thank you so much for watching. Do please consider liking and subscribing to my channels to help it grow. And don't forget to hit that bell button to get notification of when I'm uploading new videos. That is it for me, guys. Until next video, take care and see you then. Bye.